I need to understand, why is it okay for the federal and state government to give tons of money to women who fuck up their children, and then once those children are all fucked up and they're adults, the state and federal government won't help them unless they go get some girl pregnant and have some fucked up children? I'm not going to do that. But basically there is no help for single males, and having a dog doesn't make it easier. I'm not giving up my dog. I mean, I'm not giving up yet. It does feel like I should just drive home to Vermont, but that's not what I want to do. Even though I owe this month 2 truck payments, which is too much, and then my phone bill, and it just all seems pretty overwhelming. But I have a bunch of eBay sales. I'm just praying something happens. Like, hopefully God will look out for me. I keep saying, well, maybe a miracle will happen. Nope. And I don't know. I thought that I would be okay throughout life. No one prepared me for being homeless. Like, not in high school, not in my house. There's no talk of what do you do if you're homeless? Even though I'm probably better prepared than most people. I'm still working, still hustling, not just waiting around for someone or looking for jobs. I'm still working. I shipped out $3,000 in orders this month, yet I'm broke. And I've literally been living on Taco Bell and ramen noodle soup. I've eaten 1 pizza and 1 meal at IHOP in the last 2 months. Other than that, it's been ramen soup and Taco Bell. I do smoke some grass and some tobacco, but that's not that much, especially here where it's super cheap. So I don't really understand how's anybody making it if I made almost $3 or $4,000 this month and I broke living in my truck. There's something has got to give, people. I don't know how much more compliant we can get, and we can just sit here and let people destroy our entire country. What are we leaving for our children? Yeah, ask yourself, what are you leaving for your kids? Luckily I don't have any kids, so I don't have to ask myself that, but I do not like the way this world is going. I would like to see more support for people. I'd like to see more community housing. I'd like to see more public land. I'd like to see places that aren't just Walmart parking lot that you could camp out without being harassed. Basically, if it's state land, the state police come bug you, and national forest is few and far between. You can camp out on land Bureau of Land Management land, but not everyone knows where that is. Not everyone knows about it's just kind of a system where they don't have any network for people who are homeless, unless it's some shelter where you have to play by all these rules. And honestly, a lot of the shelters, I've never really been in any shelters. This is my first time being homeless. I've been told that a lot of shelters are worse than sleeping on the streets, so that is just what I've been told. I've never slept in any, so I don't know. But I'm really depressed these days. It seems I don't know how I'm supposed to get out of this situation, with absolutely no help. God can help me. He could change the whole situation. I know that. Yet, if He will is another matter. But I continue to pray and hold faith, and yeah, love humanity, and just try and be a good person, even though I don't feel like there's really any hope. It's hard to trust people when you can't trust your own mother or father, or people who say they care about you, or any of that. So it is a little lonely, isolating, I suppose. Yeah, that's the one thing I've really learned about being through so much horrific stuff. It just leaves you this isolated person within your own thoughts and your own psyche, that if you try and bring anyone else in, it's potentially harmful and dangerous to them, as well as you, and it really puts strains on relationships. So me trying to deal with and reconcile some of my own issues have definitely burnt a lot of bridges, but I would rather try and reconcile and understand this stuff than just pretend like it's all okay. I don't really know where we're going as a society or what people are actually thinking, but I'm hoping that people can kind of wake up and see a bigger picture, that like money and just having your own space, not to share it with anyone else. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's cool. But it seems like this day and age, like even just calling someone is like an intrusion, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to be ignored. You may as well text, and 9 times out of 10 they're going to respond to your call with a text. So we've just completely like shifted with Facebook almost. It's like communication in the world is supposed to be like Facebook, where as long as you portray this clean, good image, you can kind of get away with anything you want, as long as people think you're doing the opposite and the good thing. So it's led to a lot of narcissistic, sociopathic behavior. Not to mention this like problem with COVID, and I believe the world went through like a prolonged stress time loop where nobody realized like how much time was actually passing. And if they did, and when they did, it was kind of too late. And all these like corporations had already just taken over, bought up all the housing, put all the little businesses out of business. And like, what can the little people actually do? Nothing, because we're scrambling just to make ends meet. So next thing you know, the entire country looks the same. It's like one business after the next that all repeat. I can't tell the country apart. And it's become really, I mean, to me it's depressing. Part of me was like all excited to go travel, but unless you get out into the real country, all you see is sprawl of like KFC, Taco Bell, Walmart, KFC, Taco Bell, pharmacy, Walmart, and it just continues for thousands of miles. And I mean, I just think like, what would our founding fathers be thinking and saying right now if they saw this, and they saw how we were all living, how housing and human existence became a commodity, how our government is literally just watching people starve and not helping them. Like, none of this makes any sense to me as an American or as a peaceful person. Like, I don't even get it. Like, we need to wake up, people. Wake the fuck up, people, please.